Welcome, my friends of the interwebs. Welcome to my knife show. You know what? I watched Guar 1981 do a video showing his knives, and I thought, you know what? People are always asking me, what knives I have and whatnot, and I thought, that's a cool video, so I thought I'd just, rip them off. So I'm stealing this idea from Guar 1981. If you don't know who Guar is, you should. So, anyway. Real quick, it's not going to be a knife review or anything. I just wanted to show some of my knives. I'm going to do this a little bit different than I normally do. Usually I keep my my camera static. I'm going to play a little bit and see what's what. Anyway, this first one up is it's a Winchester knife. I got this at Walmart in Middlesboro, Kentucky. It wasn't a lot of money. I don't remember now how much it cost, but it was pretty cheap. And I had this in my truck for a long time. It's basically a hunting knife. It's got a gut puller on there for skinning a deer out, and but I've never used it. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I've used it for some rugged stuff, but for the most part, yeah, it stayed in my truck for a long time, and it was worth the probably, I don't know, $10 I paid for it, something like that. It wasn't very much money. Alright, this knife here, most of you recognize. It was given to me by a fellow YouTuber, and of course I can't think of the YouTuber's name offhand. He's kind of a douchebag, I am, but he's a very cool dude, awesome guy, and this was a great gift, and I appreciate it so much. This knife is an interesting knife. It's basically a rip-off of a Swiss Army knife. It was a promo knife, a promotion knife handed out for a company that made a video game called Kuma War. And you downloaded this game off the internet, and it was like a first-person shooter or whatever. Anyway, they gave you these knives, which is the least they could do considering, their software was just loaded with viruses. This knife, the Gerber Clutch, this is probably the knife that I use the most. It's a multi-tool is what it is. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had to grab something and pull these out to do that with. It's got, different little screwdrivers and tools, and there's the fingernail thing and a little blade. It's a handy tool. It's not very big either, and that's what I like about it. If I was ever going to EDC anything, this would be it, right there. Alright, now we've got a classic buck knife, just a very inexpensive knife, and I'm trying to do this backwards. It's just, yeah, it's a knife. It's a knife. It's like a trapper knife. It's very nice, and it's cheap. It's a nice beer knife. If you don't have any beater knives in your life, you need to get some, because beater knives you can do things with that you just won't do with more expensive knives. This I found, and I don't remember where I found it. It's a little Swiss Army deal. Found knives are the best knives, in my opinion. Little scissors. It's pretty cool. It wouldn't be a bad little EDC knife to have in your pocket. A little bigger version. We're all familiar with the Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife, most of the gadgets on Swiss Army knife are pretty much useless, but sometimes they come in handy. Something like this, you just, you keep in your glove box. It may come in handy someday. Okay, and then I've got this. I brought this out just to show Guar. It's a utility knife. Great for cutting boxes or different utility stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it for years. You can get these at Sears. They're like $5. Worth having, though. Up here, I'm not going to break these out of the box because they really deserve their own show, their own video. But case, case. If you've never owned a case knife, they're a little expensive. But if you've never owned a case knife, you need to get one. Seriously, you need to get one. Once you have a case in your hands, it's just they're just beautiful. They're just really well made. Made in the United States, just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. All right, we got a Kershaw. Okay, this is the Blast. It's a Tanto knife. Pretty awesome. Got the serrated edge down here. I like Tanto knives. I know a lot of people don't. And it's spring assisted. Comes out fast. I know a lot of people don't like Tantos for various reasons. Some people say that the tip on a Tanto is too weak and they're hard to sharpen, but you know what? I like them. Kershaw Leek, one of the all-time great knives. And I love the blade on this. I really do. I love the blade design. It's a beautiful knife. You know, Kershaw, in my opinion, makes some of the better knives. And made in America. Gotta love that. Okay, the Kershaw needs work. This is a pretty badass knife. It really is. And it comes right out of the box. You can shave with this thing. Of course, all Kershaw knives are really sharp out of the box. But and it's light. It's not very heavy. It's a bigger knife, but it's not real heavy. Yeah, badass. The thing that some people don't like about it, there's no locking mechanism to lock the blade shut. But, you know, I've never had an issue with that. People who complain about locking mechanisms for the blades are pussies. Just saying. Now, this is a Kershaw. The thing I like about this knife is the blade. You see how it's scalloped? It's just really, really neat looking. I can't for the life of me remember the name of this knife, though. But it's a pretty badass knife. Now, it's not spring assisted, so you got to get a little bit of a flick going on. But it's still a pretty sweet knife. Okay, and then up top here, we've got the. Well, you know, most of you will recognize this. This knife opened many a package on the Mad Bad Voodoo channel. It's my Gerber. You know what? And for the money, I'm telling you, this is a great knife for the money. This is a really great pocket knife. Obviously, I've got other knives, but you know what? That Gerber it's awesome. I bought these two knives at a garage sale from some little kid. I bet he wasn't but 5 or 6 years old. And he was selling these to raise a little money for himself. They're junk. It's like this piece here fell out of this one. It should look like that. But you know, I paid him almost nothing for them, and they're just beater knives. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. You know, you put a good blade on it, you know, a good edge on it. The lock's back here. But they're just cheap knives. You gotta have some cheap knives in your lives. That's just the way it is. Okay, now moving on to the SOG Flash 2. Why do they call it a Flash? Well, you've just seen. This is kind of cool because the release is here, blade release or locking mechanism. It doesn't have anything to flick here, but you know, and you can lock it like that, by the way. Okay, if you bring it, oh, sorry, or maybe not. All right, never mind. I thought you could lock it. Oh no, the lock's back here. My bad. Lock's back there. Yeah, so you can't get it out now. Okay. I'm zoomed a little too far in, I think. All right. Okay. One more time. There we go. Pretty badass. Okay, now this is one of my all-time favorite knives. It's a SOG Twitch. And I love the size of this. It's not a very big knife. Especially if, like, for example, if you compare it to the Needs Work. I mean, it's pretty tiny in comparison. But it's just, to me, I just really like it. It's small, it's light. I'm not a weight freak like some people, but this is just a nice little knife. The only, if I was any kind of complaint, is that you can't close it one-handed. You actually have to push here to close it. But I'll tell you what, it's spring assisted, so it comes open nice. It's almost paring knife size, which I really kind of like. Yeah, the Twitch 2 is the Twitch 2. Pretty cool. Okay. Oh, by the way, this SOG Flash, since I brought up the weight issue, if you are one of those weight freaks that are like, oh, the ounces and all this crap, this is a knife for you because this is light. It really is. It's very, very light. This is really, you'll if you're big into, oh my god, things way too much, then this is the knife. I'm telling you right now. For a full size or a larger knife. And this is real light too, but it's a smaller knife. I would EDC this, absolutely. Every day carry this, for sure. Alright, now one of my more favorite knives. One that was given to me by Cutlery Lover. The Buck. Sometimes in life you just got to slow down and get the job done. You know, no need to flick things open and all that goofiness and flip. No, just ease it open and get the job done. That's what I'm talking about. Which is one of the reasons I like the case knives. You know, I'll tell you. I know I said I wasn't going to open one, but just one. Because I'm going to do a review on my case knives. These are not all my case knives. But let me show you something. Just to give you an example. Look at this. I mean, this is just beauty. See, here's the thing. Let me give you another example. Okay, we'll use this one as an example. Okay, that masturbation. This making love to a beautiful woman. Seriously, that's really the difference between the two. Perfection. It just doesn't. You grab a case knife. I'm telling you, you will know that you have something in your hands. Definitely. So, it's up to you, you know, like I said, and you can get good at these. These are, you know, this is nice brand new. It's not really worked in yet, but and I probably can't flick it. My thumbs are a little short, but yeah, I'm telling you, case awesomeness, absolute awesomeness. So anyway, I will actually do a whole video on my case knives, but yeah, anyway, for now, that's, by the way, this is about a third of my knives. I've got a lot of knives down in Kentucky. You know, these are the ones that I actually could get my hands on here quick. I've got more here that I just, I'm not sure where I stuffed them. But I hope you enjoyed this. A lot of people over the last few years have asked me what knives I had. And so now you know. So, anyway, everybody, take care.